I really think that's not what I heard. It's kind of fashion like that. Regardless, it's a complete opposite. Nuts is they're whoa!
It's okay, Shane.
Coach Johns here with Spotlight High. I'm on location at Menchville High School. I'm with Coach Z of Menchville Varsity Girls. Coach, congratulations on your first win this year. Before we get started, how did preseason go for you? And talking about your returning starters.
Yeah, so this was actually our third game of the season. Mm-hmm. So we had a scrimmage, we're ironing things out, and then we had the Garvey tournament last weekend. So, right. You know, the weather for the last 2 weeks has been terrible, but luckily we played York and Grafton, won against York 4-1. Lost a close game to Grafton in the second half, 2-1. And at this point in the season, I'm sure with most coaches, it's just we're trying to find chemistry and put in the new puzzle pieces. I'm fortunate to have 8 seniors that have come back and know what it means to be a Monarch, and just really good leaders, all of them. Right. And out of those 8, I have 4 captains that stand out in particular, Alexis Rhodes, Helen McDowell, Alexis Fabia, and Caitlin Kassab. So we're trying to put all the puzzle pieces together, but those are my key returning players, and I think we're off to a good start.
Coach, your girls dominate the ball on their end. How do you talk to your goalie to tell her to keep warm and motivate her, because she's not getting much action because you won the game 3-0. She's not getting much action. So how do you keep your goalie motivated?
Yeah, well, Maddie knows. She's a freshman this year. Maddie Vinson, awesome goalie, and Celia was there for the last 15 minutes. But they know they're actually in our offense the last defender, more like a sweeper keeper. So honestly, I didn't do a good enough job this game because they didn't receive as many touches as they should. Right. But I think what should have happened was our defense during certain sets should have made a conscious effort to deliver her the ball. She gets the ball, we work our offense through our keeper, and then she's just a part of that building up the offense from the back. So we didn't do too much of that today. Granted, it wasn't on our side too much, but generally in most games we use them as that last defender, and we'll use them as that point to switch the field. So.
Oh, that was well said. Coach, speeding up a little bit. They take off there's no districts play tournament. I know. There's no conference tournament. Y'all go straight into regionals. Is that a good or bad thing?
To be determined. To be determined, because we haven't rode out this season. So there's pros and cons to everything. The pros are, for the first time ever in my coaching career, every game matters. And the old model, you could have lost every single game. You could have lost all your non-conference in your conference, and you had a seed in a tournament, and then that tournament was win or go home. So even if you had losses early on in the year, you could fight to get better, become better, and then if you're hot at the right time, you win the conference tournament, move on to regionals. So I like that old model, but I think that's because I'm so familiar with it, right? The new model, what I like is it adds an element to every single game where it does matter. So as before, sometimes last year we get a little lackadaisical on some opponents. Here, it's 16 games in your season. Every win is 3 points. Tie 1, loss is nothing. So really, like this game here, which last year would have been a good win and something we can build off of, is 3 points to our title. So we have 6 points right now for the season, and we're fighting to get the most points so we can have the highest seed. One thing I think is a downside of the system is it all relies on scheduling. So we have a healthy balance this season with a lot of rigor. I mean, we played the Grafton and York, and we have Cox and War Hill. So we put really tough games in there. But I've noticed some teams in our region seem like they stack their schedule for all these instant wins. And I hope it doesn't come down to it, but I wouldn't want to see at the end of the season maybe a team we beat once or twice get into regionals and we don't because of their schedule. That's a downside, but to be determined, so we'll see.
Coach, that was well said. Look like you're not afraid to play anybody, so that was well said by your athletes. Last thing, Coach, who's your next opponent before spring break?
So we have 2. We have Phoebus. We have Phoebus on Tuesday. and then we play Hopewell. So one of the benefits to the new system is we're able to like travel further.
Right.
So smaller school outside of Richmond. I looked at their rankings last year. I think they made it to the semifinal of their regional tournament.
Right.
So we're hoping to get that competition in there. A little bit smaller school than us, but I think it's going to be a great game.
Okay, Coach. Great job on your first opener game, home game,
Yep.
and good luck to you. And thank you for what you do for your community.
Yep.